Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the best Android battery saver apps. So I previously made an Android cleaner app video where I compared different cleaners. Today we're going to be looking at battery saving apps. So the whole idea is that you install these apps and they extend your battery life. So we've got 4 different ones to look at today, and the test I've put them through is an hour-long test. Exactly an hour I timed it, and in that hour, part of the time the phone was locked. I was also browsing social media and the internet and gaming for all exact same times for each test. I also tested no app at all to see what would happen with just standard Android, to see if that that would be a good benchmark to look at, and we'll look at that first. So that was the hour-long test. It was exactly the same for all the different apps, so hopefully we'll get a good idea as to which app performed best. We're looking at different things, how it affects performance and how much the battery drains. So without any apps at all, I decided to give the performance 5 out of 5, because really with no app you can't lose any performance, so it had to be a 5 out of 5. After the hour-long test, the battery drained to 87% with no app, which is obviously the benchmark. We want obviously to be left with higher than 87% in the tests coming up. I then decided to charge it back up with whatever app I'd done the test with. So obviously with no app it took 41.5 minutes, which was a lot really, to charge it back up to 100%, and then the time per percent equals 3 minutes 12 seconds. So that's just a gauge. It doesn't really affect anything, and I didn't expect it to change throughout, but I think it was just a good comparison to see if any of these apps actually make the battery, I don't know, charge up faster. So we've got that comparison, even though it doesn't mean much. And out of all the things I tested, the review rating I gave it was 4.5. So I've calculated a lot of different things to get that, so it's not just from the things you see on the screen. So the first actual app we tested was Power Pro. I gave it a performance rating of 5 out of 5 because it didn't affect the performance, and like all the other of these apps, it didn't have a notification that was constant. You might be able to turn that off in the other apps, but I'm not sure you can. This app didn't have that, which is quite handy. Sometimes it's a bit annoying if you've got a constant notification telling you, and that's why I decided to give it a performance rating of 5 out of 5. I didn't notice any performance loss, which is obviously what you want. The battery drained to just 88%, which is a percent more than no app, so it did make a slight difference, and that's probably 1 in just about every 10%, so you're essentially getting 110% battery from this app if you use it. It then took slightly longer to charge up, 41 minutes, which is, well, slightly longer if we look at each percent, which was 3 minutes 24, but that's just slight differences, which I don't think will make a difference at all. The next app was Battery Doctor. I gave it a performance rating of 4.5 out of 5 because it did have a notification, and that can be annoying. It doesn't necessarily affect performance, but if you just look at your lock screen and you're trying to see notifications, this one popping up probably covers up others, and it is gonna probably make your phone lag tiny bits, probably not even noticeable, but with there being a constant notification, there's always going to be some slight issues. The battery result was the same as last time, 88%, as you'd expect. With the optimize button being pressed before, you should see a difference. It took 39 minutes 30 seconds to charge, which is slightly better than the last one, but only slightly. Doesn't make much difference at all. Overall it got a 4.5 rating, the last one got 4.65, so that one's currently in the lead at the moment. The next one was DU Battery Saver. Again, it was very similar to the last one in that it had a constant notification, which is why I gave it the 4.5 out of 5. However, this did perform the best in the battery result. It was 2% more than the no app, 89%, which is really good. This is basically getting 2% more really per every 10% or so. So you're essentially, when you get a fully charged, instead of 100%, you're kind of getting 120%, which make this was the best performer in this area. So it did have to score highly on that. It fell just short because of the performance. The constant notification did harm it slightly, and it ended up with 4.63 out of 5 after calculating all of the tests I completed. And so the fourth and final battery saving app I decided to review was Avast Battery Saver. Now you'll notice that the performance is 4 out of 5, which is the lowest score that I gave out, and the reason being when I picked it up from doing the final test, I actually I recorded some video, 4 minutes of video at the end of the test, and that was like the final section. It was actually warm, and none of the others were. Some of the other apps actually had a cooling feature. If Avast did, then it didn't work because it was actually hot to the touch, and that was something I had noticed straight away, and it was definitely going to affect performance if your phone's hot, and it's not even a particularly warm day, so that's why I had to got marked quite low there. 88% battery result is pretty much average for this test, as you'd expect. Overall, including the star rating from the Play Store, I gave it got a 4.35 rating. So all of these actually included other people's reviews as well, from the apps from the Play Store. So my recommended choice is Power Pro. It scored only just the most in the test I did. It was definitely between this and the DU battery saver. But Power Pro has no constant notifications, so essentially you can run it, you can optimize it, say once a day, and then you don't really have to worry about it because you don't see it, you don't really know it's there. It didn't really affect performance at all, so it's very discreet. Even though it didn't actually save the most battery, DU battery saver did that, so if you're really desperate for a bit more battery, then go for that one. However, I would recommend Power Pro because you can just optimize it once a day and you don't know it's there. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, remember to leave a like, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching.